Hello folks, hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in, watching the channel. Apologies there's not been much content. Probably been a year since I've really kind of done anything, purely because there's not been much to buy, or the waiting lists are still quite long, even though we are going through some form of financial recession, whatever you want to call it. It's not, is it? But it's not that bad, but we'll get in there. But yeah, it's been interesting. There's still clearly a demand for certain watches, certainly Rolex. Yes, you might have seen a video quite recently of me wearing this. Actually, you know what, why don't we put it on? This is the Oyster Perpetual 41, which I've been using for the last 2 weeks, had it 2 weeks. I love the watch. And obviously, if you've been watching the channel, you'll see that I rotate my watches quite heavily. Normally keep 2 or 3, and then everything else stays away nice and safe. But it's not Rolex today, it's another brand. I've never bought anything from this brand before until now, and it was because I saw what had been through Watches and Wonders this year. So without further ado, let's unbox a new Tudor. So it is the Tudor Black Bay, and it's the new Metas Black Bay. So it's the burgundy. Oh, shall I just open the box first? Let's open the box before telling you what it is. So yeah, here we go. The Tudor 41 Black Bay in burgundy, but it is the new kind of version. So this has been around since 2012. I'm not a expert, like, you know, I don't know as much about Tudor as I do about Rolex, so apologies, my facts might be a bit hazy, but I'll try my best. But this watch was kind of released 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Really cracking watch. Obviously it's the sister company to Rolex, so yeah, lovely watch. Black Bay 41 in the burgundy, but this is the new Metas. So very brief history. 2012 it came out. It's had several iterations of the Tudor Black Bay, and there are obviously different models. Black Bay 58, it's Black Bay Pro, Black Bay Pro Chrono, but I wanted a non-date version because I understand that there's a few issues with the date, so I wanted a non-date. And it now has a new movement, which is made by a company called Kinesi, which is owned by Tudor, and Kinesi make movements for obviously Tudor and then other companies as well. Breitling, I think they make movements for, and some of the premium Swiss brands. And yeah, got a call. What happened, this watch was released in April 2023 at Watches of Wonders, along with 2 or 3 other different watches. But this was a biggie because of the movement. It's now certified, not by just COSC, which is the kind of industry standard that puts it through certain kind of procedures and to make sure that it has durability and lasts lifetime. Metas is effectively what Amiga use as a testing effectively. Oh, what's the word here I should be using? But it's a control process, and it's to a higher standard than COSC. So Metas is something that they put these watches through, and the process is, it ensures that the watches are robust, stay robust, and it's more strenuous tests, basically. I think that's probably what I'm supposed to be finding the word for, struggling, is it's more strenuous. So they put the watches through harsher conditions, and then obviously timekeeping, etc. with them. So yeah, the only watch that I know that use Metas is Amiga, but obviously Tudor have started. This is the first watch that Tudor have started to test with Metas, and then I think they'll just roll it out into the new range. So so yeah, what's it like? It's lovely. My question, or my statement to everyone that's watching this video is, if someone said, what would you buy one? I would say totally yes, for a couple of reasons. It's basically a Rolex. It's owned by Rolex. Obviously it is a sister company. There are differences, but ultimately the kind of DNA that's in this is very similar to a Submariner, 41 mil. No, it doesn't have a ceramic bezel, it's still aluminium, but I love the black dial with the gold indices and hour hands, etc. I did want the 5-link, but the 5-link didn't come and the 3-link was here. But they basically released a 5-link and a 3-link system, basically an Oyster system and a Jubilee. And then they've released a slightly different, and this is why I wanted the new one, what they call a T-fit system. So just very similar to Rolex in terms of the clasp, etc., buckle on it, and then has a very similar glide lock system. It doesn't pop out, sorry guys, it doesn't pop out, but you can pull it and then roll it. I think you've got about 15 mil. Again, sorry if I'm a little bit hazy because I don't know enough about them, and I only bought this 3 days ago. So yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, movement 70 hours, Kinesi movement. So basically where the factory is in local, or however you pronounce it, where in Switzerland, it's basically in the same village in town as Zenith are made, and obviously I'm a big fan of Zenith. They're made, and then so the Tudor factory's there, and then next door is the Kinesi factory. It's shared, basically a same building, and branded Kinesi, and that's where they make the movements for this watch. Would I buy one? Yes. Would I recommend anyone else to buy one? Absolutely. This watch costs £3,630, I think, something like that. So roughly half the price of what a new Submariner is, or just under. It is excellent value for money. Build quality is fantastic, exceptional. Yeah, maybe a couple of like, I don't like the rivets on the side, if I'm honest, and the 5-link doesn't have that. So if I'm honest, if I had the choice and I was offered both, I'd have the 5-link, but there wasn't a choice. I had the 3-link, or the Oyster strap. How long did I have to wait? 3 weeks. So this watch came out in beginning of April, and it's now end of April. So, and I didn't call straight away. I called about 20 or 21 days ago and said, look, I'm interested in this watch. It was a high street jeweler, nothing special, just a very generic high street jeweler that have Tissot as a concession. So, you know, don't just go into one, and you've got to make sure there's a Tudor concession in the store. But the guy was lovely, really looked after me. So thank you very much, Jack, if you're watching. Really, really nice, looked after me, very professional. And yeah, he did us honoured. I was the first person to receive this watch. So I think they're pretty hot. There's none on chrono. Obviously I'm not selling it. I'm very happy with it. It's going to be my daily now. I'm going to use it daily, see how I get on, give it a bit of a battering, and then probably do a review in it in 12 months time. But yeah, absolutely go and buy one. Absolutely no brainer, absolute no brainer. Lovely watch. Great in terms of entry for the value at that, just over 3,500. £100 more for the 5-link, totally worth it. So if you can do that, please do it, because like I say, you don't get the rivets at the end on the 5-link, and I just feel it looks really nice with the 5-link Jubilee. So if you can get that. Box is very similar to a Rolex in terms of its size and nature, in black. You've got some lovely little, I have taken it all away, guys, but you get obviously 2 links extra. You've got a little card and a booklet. Admittedly, the stuff is not as nice as Rolex. There's not as much theatre, but it's still nice. The cards as well, just so you know, when you get the Tudor card, you can actually QR code it, or almost like zap it with your phone, and it will bring up this exact, your serial number and watch and everything. So makes things really easy if you want to document it for insurance, or just, you know, just so you know it's real. You just tap the card with your phone and it comes up and with your serial number and everything. That's quite a new technology, which I can imagine will be rolled out across both brands, but Tudor have started it first. So yeah, really happy with it. I'll do a review in 6 months. I'll also, guys, if you want to, I'll do a 2023 collection update and tell you what I bought. Haven't sold anything, but what I bought and any new additions will be on there. It's getting there. Very lucky to be collecting, considering the circumstances of what we're living in at the moment. Very lucky to be buying these types of watches, but keep working hard, I suppose you can have them. So thanks for watching, guys, and Thanks for tuning in, and hope you're all well and working and earning money and doing what you love. So take care.